Look, Kanan getting back in the mix. I want him to see every piece of the business from the ground up. I need at least one of the men in this family to appreciate this damn work. See this vision.
So, Season 2 started with Kanan spending 3 months away from Rock, and so we were given a new dynamic between mother and son. And from the beginning, it was clear there was a shift in their relationship after Rock had Kanan shoot Howard, who happens to be Kanan's biological father.
Doing what I did that night? Looking that cop in the face? Messed with my head. Like nightmares and shit.
Now, we saw the reaction from Kanan when he found out Howard had survived, and as it is, he was someone who was already suffering mentally, very similar to how Tariq was suffering from nightmares in Ghost Season 2. He was having flashbacks and nightmares of Ghost, Jabari, and all of those characters he had some sort of hand in, sending 6 feet deep. And no doubt, Kanan would have had many sleepless nights, nightmares, and plenty of thinking time while he was away from the chaos in Queens. So it was up to Rock to try and reassure him everything was gonna be okay. But the problem is, Rock changed the course of history for Kanan. He started Season 2 thinking he was uncut out for the game, and Rock had an opportunity to send him away and push him in the direction which she first wanted in Season 1. Kanan was also actually happy to stay in Virginia. He could have been enrolled at school far away from Howard and the game, and maybe Kanan would have grown up to be someone different, but we can't put all the blame on Rock. Kanan wanted to be in the game from Season 1, and when he and D-Wiz pulled the trigger on Buck 20, he was definitely in the game, but some would argue he was in it way before then.
Kanan's not in this.
Kanan's you and Defcon's boy Rock. That nigga been in this shit before he was even in this shit.
So who knows what could have happened in an alternate power universe if Rock got her wish where Kanan passed his entrance exam to Stuyvesant, or did try and push Kanan into a different world. But the reality is, Rock wanted to keep Kanan close, and because of her lies, we're now seeing Kanan move behind her back. And this really has pushed Rock into making one of the biggest decisions which carved Kanan's future, having him work for her organization. And now we're seeing Rock slowly shifting from becoming his mom into his boss. And we're going to get into different aspects of their relationship in just a moment, because there are definitely quite a few issues. There's the paternity results, Kanan being forced into the path of Howard and Palomar, and let's not forget Sam, who saw him after he shot Howard, as well as Detective Burke getting closer to the truth. But I do want to add some background and context to this video with some recent quotes from Patina Miller. Now, recently she said, Kanan's at an age where he keeps himself to himself. He used to tell me everything, no secrets, but now he's just got me guessing. I think he's definitely rethinking his relationship with his mother. He's also rethinking his choices from Season 1. From the first episode of the show, all Rock wanted to do was keep him away from the business, keep him out of it. His one action that he did changed the dynamic of everything. I do think had he not been playing in that business that he wasn't supposed to be in, we would have even got to where we got to this season. I think he's really dealing with his actions and Rock having to come along the way. She warned Kanan so much throughout the first half of Season 1. She never wanted to have to look at him as some sort of soldier, as some sort of a scrappy, because he keeps asking for something, and in asking for that, it's going to bring out the boss, not mom. So now he's having to see parts of his mom he's never seen before, because she's been able to keep that separate. But now there's this weird blurred line. So where Patina Miller mentioned he's gonna have to see this different side to his mom that he's never seen before. One example was how she took him to the Catskills, where she had Kanan help him bury the body of the inspector. This was a side that Kanan's never seen before, and we saw him give this look to his mom, but not saying a word. But the silence said it all. Kanan knew what his family were into, and he knew the consequences of the game, because he saw at first hand what happened to one of Unique's boys in Season 1. But this was the first time he saw Rock deal with something like this in front of him, and so this was completely something new. But Kanan's been keeping relatively quiet a lot recently, and as Tupac once said, if you let a person talk long enough, you'll hear their true intentions. Listen twice, speak once. And this is what Kanan's been doing more of. He's listening to Rock and listening to her lies, and Rock now knows he's slipping away. So to keep him close by, Rock now has Kanan working for her organization, kind of taking Scrappy's place, just like Patina mentioned. And how does this change the dynamic even further, now that Kanan will have to at times report to Rock as his boss, not his mom?
But you're not gonna be like these other brothers. You'll be a leader. General.
but her sole purpose was to also keep him away from Howard. But this is the Power universe, where you solve one problem, another one appears, and Rock really doesn't help herself at all. I mentioned she indirectly causes connection between Unique and the Italians by sending Unique to Queens County, and Unique was definitely quick to rub it in her face. But she doesn't realize she's pushing Kanan in the direction of both Howard and Palomar.
I wouldn't want you to get burned, baby.
And this is something I'm going to come back around to in just a moment. But Kanan did go to Rock for help when it came to Famous. He also asked Marvin, but she got shut down by both. So what was Kanan supposed to do? Because even though we did see Kanan's ruthless side when he fucked up Freddy, there's certain things he can't influence with a gun and his fist, and that was helping Famous. So if Rock wasn't going to help, there was only going to be one man who could. His father, Detective Howard. Although I do have to say, favors don't come free in the world of power, even if Howard is his father, and Kanan may want to keep that in mind, but I wouldn't be surprised if Howard needed to do him another. Sam is someone who I focus heavily on in my breakdown for episode 6, as well as Detective Burke, because he saw Kanan the night he shot Howard, and he certainly looked twice, so he could cause a bit of a problem. Along with Burke, she's getting closer to the truth, so not only is this an issue for Howard, but also Rock. And what have we learned across the Power universe? Those who learn things they shouldn't are only digging their own grave, but there are a few exceptions, Blanca Rodriguez and Cooper Sachs. So let's see what happens with Detective Burke. But with Kanan leaning on Howard, we can only blame one person for pushing him in his direction, Rock. Time and time again, we've seen Kanan ask Rock about Howard, even to the point where she saw him enter his house at the end of episode 4, and yet she continues to lie and manipulate. And this is what will eventually be the end of their relationship for good, the paternity results. Howard gave Kanan the results towards the end of episode 6, and surely now Rock has nowhere to run, and this is why I feel there could be more than one person who Kanan starts to lean on. So in comes Palomar. Now the intentions of Palomar are yet to be seen, and in fact, the more we see of Palomar, it just raises even more questions rather than answers. We saw how Kanan had to lean on her when she gave him a gun, but how often do we meet a mother and daughter who seem like they're into the same guy? We saw her give Kanan a big juicy kiss on his cheek, which definitely left me baffled, because who knows what kind of angle she's working. Is she aware of who Kanan is, who his family are, and what they're into? Because she definitely seemed to know Kanan needed a piece, and it just makes me wonder, what is Palomar's past and history? Because as Scrappy once said, everyone's in the game. But I really wouldn't be surprised if Kanan wanted Palomar, because there is definitely a lot more lessons for him to learn, even though we did see a savage Kanan in episode 6.
A fine woman who knows she fine is trouble. Now that bitch bad. She knows she's bad, so you watch her back.
And this is one thing I do hope they bring to life from Kanan in Power, but let's wait and see, because Palomar does remain a mystery, but someone who Kanan could definitely get closer to, which again would pull him away from Rock. But that's a breakdown of where we are with Kanan, Rock, and Howard, and how it could be complicated even further by Detective Burke, Sam, as well as Palomar. So drop all your thoughts down below on the dynamics of this whole situation. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.